How's it hanging, y'all? If you don't know me by now, my name is Shawn, and I love to build things. And I really, really love to build things in the game we love called City Skylines. So you can imagine how excited I was when we got our first look at City Skylines 2, right? And I was one of the largest defenders and advocators to all the doubters early on. And I'd like to just take a second and say I'm sorry. You know, I am sorry. I was wrong. I know I've always been honest with how I felt, and that has changed for better and for worse as this anime arc of this game's release has, gone completely wrong. I said a bunch of great things about the studio, and I still mean that, but I haven't hid my feelings about the horrible state that the game is in. But I was wrong. The studio wasn't impervious to making bad game decisions or even overselling combined with lack of transparency and all the problems that went with the release and what the end product was, right? This is why I have been so happy to see how many of you people clicked, you crazy people clicked that video after I took a whole month off. So, um, but we gotta be honest, right? And, if we really love this game, we won't pretend like it's the best game ever because it's not. It has a long way to go. That doesn't mean I don't like it, doesn't mean I hate it, doesn't mean you shouldn't play it. It just needs a lot of work, and it's just not there for me right now, right? And so I'm making this video today to not leave off CS2 with that last rant video. I want to actually try to give my best advice to the devs and how to easily and simply fix this game virtually overnight. I mean, one day CS2 will be good, but there is so much work to be done and so much standing in the way of success that I just can't stay inspired to keep playing. I have a fix all solution to every CS2 problem. But until they do it, I will be branching out and creating other things and in other builds and in other games, while also staying up to date on the progress of CS2. I will be coming back to it routinely, especially with the podcast and stuff like that, which we had to push back. I want you to be here for the new content. And if you're not, I understand. I will still play this game and upload it from time to time. But for now, I want to start mixing in CS1 and maybe some Planet Coaster or something like that. Even Biffa feels the need to address the state of the game. Um, it's all, background, entitled gamer chatter until your biggest free advertiser echoes the same sentiment, right? It's not a skill issue or a lack of imagination. This game is just a shell of what we were familiar with CS1 and only improved on graphics, and some features were just completely removed or postponed. Everything we actually loved about CS1 and it just kind of got ripped out of CS2. Don't get me wrong, the game has many improvements over some features, but many just cause more issues like rent being too high and so on and so forth. Then there are so many bugs that it feels like a beta build at best, right? But Shawn, it's still a baby, and over the years mods will help it, and CS1 wasn't great until mods, and you have the dev mode and blah blah blah. Stop typing. Like, I don't care. No matter what the reasoning is or the excuse, and no matter what's coming down the line, the fact is we have a game that looks better, but has everything we loved about CS1 removed. They should have just been honest about the game and what it was lacking. And yes, it is still a young game. So that's good news. Plus, I think I know how to fix it. But in order for me to tell you that, I have to back up my words. And so the background gameplay from CS2, I'm now switching over to CS1. Because, like I said, I'll be branching out. And it is what it is. So, and this also give you a good comparison of the two games and just the level of detail and creativity CS1 has over CS2. So, what do they need to do in order to fix CS2? One simple thing. That's Steam. The whole creative community was on Steam. If they reinstated Steam alongside PDX mods and Thunderstore, then virtually overnight, the dedicated modding community that lived and breathed cities through Steam will have thousands of assets and dozens of well-crafted mods that fixes everything from commercial shortages in highly populated areas to rent problems to actually getting easily accessible props and decals and building variations. If they would just release the sponsored modders from their NDAs, then all of that would happen even quicker. If they really are that greedy to want PDX Store and corner that market, then why take away Steam but allow Thunderstore? that doesn't really solve the problem. You're not really cornering any market there, especially rolling out a beta version on top of it being a free market, but rolling out a beta version without the store ready. Like, what were you thinking? Like, they know how important the Steam Community Workshop was to keeping their game thriving, and to not have anything to put in its place is like Disney ruining Star Wars all over again. Mods and assets were the bread and butter of CS1, and you destroyed the modders community's home, and then chained the best ones in a room where they can't fix the problem without your overhead being a priority. If you unchain the modders and allow them to mod freely, this game will fix itself. I think they are making these modders do so much work behind the scenes, and then in tandem are patching it bit by bit and passing it off as their work as a dev team. It's just what it feels like is going on. But really, it's modders who have to work in these bite-sized chunks when they would just be like, boom, here's a mod that fixes everything, and allow the modders to take credit for that. All these changes would then further expose just how alpha this game really is. They could even keep the PDX mod store approach, but add incentives like exclusive buildings and assets and stuff that are exclusive to PDX store. I mean, there is a simple fix to all this. Bring back Steam and your problems will solve themselves. Period. This is a horrible move on their part, by either Colossal or Paradox. I don't know who it is. If they did this, I wouldn't even want to branch out. But until something drastic like this changes the course for CS2, I'll cover some news. But I have no motivation or inspiration to play the game at this current moment. Maybe some big mod will fix that. But, I mean, look, what I've done with CS1 compared to CS2. CS2 should have been a better version of the game and improved upon it, not had a bunch of features removed. I would have took a better reskin of the original game, you know, and just add like, okay, we just compiled everything from the first game, reskinned it, and now we're going to add more stuff into it. I would have been better. It would have been better off that way. This is just my opinion. I hope to see you guys for the next video. Maybe some Planet Coaster. That'd be cool. The podcast is pushed back a little bit, but we'll get to it. But until next time, I love you guys. I hope to see you stick around. But if not, I understand. Until next time, piss off.
2 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe. And I get more ass than a toilet seat.